What up, y'all? So I just got back in. I went to Kingpin Mondays tonight. Okay, and I got there like 11:45. Right before midnight. And my friend who's a promoter invited me, so I went there. I met up with him, and it was like some other bad bitches there too. That we was all meeting. Meeting up. Promoter there to go to the bowling. So it was Kingpin Bowling and Lucky Strike downtown, and it was cool. It was a vibe. We walk in, and it's a group of girls, the few promoters, and it's like okay, right? We walk in. It's maybe like two other lanes taken. It's pretty dry. It's right before midnight. It's pretty dry. So under normal circumstances, I would look at the situation like, oh dang, ain't nobody here. It's dead. Let me go home. But that's considered like early. I don't know why, but like in LA, it seems like people like to get to events right when it's about to end. Like we got there, we walked in around a little bit before 12. People didn't get there until maybe about like 1 o'clock, after 1 o'clock. The bowling alley closes at 2. But everybody wants to get there so late because everybody feels like they're so important and that they are who everybody else is waiting to see. And more often than not, that's true. Depending on like what caliber like celebrity you are. You feel me? But yeah, it didn't really get cracking until like 1 o'clock. It was thick as hell. Um, that's when everybody was there. So, we get to our bowling lanes, and it's cool. We could bowl as much as we want to bowl. We got bottles coming, to the table. So it's like, girls, we just chilling. We ain't really gotta like do nothing. Everybody's super nice. Everybody's getting along with everybody else, minding their business. But most of the girls are there with like a homegirl. I was there by myself. I don't really have like no homegirl or nothing to like roll with. I know people usually have like that one person they can like pop out with. I don't really have nobody like that. So I just be rolling by myself, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because when you grow out by yourself, you can move how you want to move, do what you need to do, and like leave when you want to leave. Um, so yeah, I was there by myself, but I ended up meeting like a few, like two other girls who were there by themselves. So we just kind of formed a trio for about 15 minutes. It was cute. It was like, oh, who you coming with? I'm like, oh, I came here by myself. Oh, me too. Oh, you came here by yourself? Me too. It was one of them type of situations, real cute, real cute. So then I got up and I started bowling. And, the funny thing about bowling at Lucky Strike is like everybody takes bowling seriously. Most people don't bowl currently. They don't bowl professionally, never have bowled in a league. But people be bowling like when they was little, or people bowl, whatever. People who started bowling when they was little, it's like they have muscle memory, and like they may not know how to bowl, but they know to take bowling seriously. So it was just so funny, like watching everybody at the different lanes, like bowl the ball out, but then like get a fucking gutter or a spare or miss everything. Everybody was like all emotional into the game. So it was just so funny because it's like, you don't even bowl like that, but you taking it so seriously. No, you didn't. Dang, they got trolls. They got trolls on YouTube Live too. Um, oh, I can delete messages. Okay. Let's do report. Unwanted spam report. This comment is no longer visible to anyone other than the commenter. Okay. Um, remove. Yeah, delete these comments. Yeah, I don't want these comments in my chat. Dang, I be on live on TikTok and I know they got troll people over there, but I didn't think they had trolls over here on YouTube. Oh my God. You have moderators on here? It's crazy. So anyway, we form a little trio, I get up and bowl. What did I leave off at? Yeah, so I'm bowling. I'm having a good time. I called you, but you ain't called back, Christina. Oh my God. Can I block this person? How do I block this person? Um, how do I block this person? Remove. Um, report. Spam. Report. How do I block this person? Oh my god. Um, I use on this channel. Okay. Oh, oh wow. Okay. All right. So if I want to block somebody, I just have to hide them from the video. Okay, cool. Dang, these bots is crazy. Okay, I just want to tell my little story. I don't have any more storage on my phone, so I can't like record a video and like post it. So I have to go live to what's up, Ozzy? I gotta go live to like tell my story. If you haven't already, make sure that you are following me. Um, I'm out here in LA and I post, my story times about my experiences out here and, just trying to make it in LA. So make sure you following me. I just got back in from bowling. Okay, cool. Where did I leave off at? Oh yeah, so I'm bowling. I'm having a good time. Everybody's taking it all seriously. It's just cool to watch. Everybody just vibing. Everybody just vibing. We taking shots. The DJ is doing his thing, keeping the vibes up, playing all the good music, everybody dancing, vibing, having a good time. So it's like midnight. As I said earlier, it was only like two other lanes taken. 1 o'clock, all the lanes are taken. It's packed. It's a full house. I'm like, oh my God, where did all these people like come from? But that's the thing about LA. Like, people don't get to events early here. People like get there at the last minute because everybody feels like they're so important and that everybody else is there to see them. Everybody's waiting to see them, so they be coming in late. So 1 o'clock, everybody like was there. It was so cool. It was like so packed. It was like really good energy. Um, I was hungry. I kept asking for the server. The server never came to the table we was at. So I took matters into my own hand and walked to the bar and ordered some chicken tenders. Because I'm not really familiar with the food at this, bowling alley, but I'm like, how, it doesn't take much to like make chicken tenders. Chicken tenders should at least be like the good thing on the menu. Um, so yeah, I ordered some chicken tenders and fries from the bar, and I sat at the bar and waited for them to bring the food to the bar because I didn't want to leave and have them try to find me, and then it's a whole miscommunication and everything. So I sat at the bar and waited for my food to be ready. Took about 15 minutes, and then I asked the bartender, "Hey, where's my food at?" He went to go check on my food. 2 minutes later, it came out. So it took about 20 minutes for my food to come out, just in case you're at the Lucky Strike in downtown LA. If you want to order food, it's gonna take about 20 minutes. So I'm sitting at the bar and I'm chilling like this. I'm chilling, waiting on my food to be done. I got there by myself, so I don't know anybody. So, I'm just taking it all in. I'm looking at who's who, who's there, what everybody's wearing, what everybody's doing. I'm just chilling. Then I see this guy, and he like works with the people who like make sure that this event is together, right? And I see one of the bottle servers like sit on his lap for like 3 seconds, and then she gets up, and then they start talking to each other. Good energy, but it was just kind of like, I'm minding my business, but I'm like, why she sitting on his lap? Is that his girl? And why she get up? Why she get up? Um, and there were like some IVs over there, so I think they were doing like vitamin IVs, and I was kind of jealous because I'm like, dang, I wish I was getting me a vitamin IV right now. I get my food. I go back to the table. I'm standing eating my chicken tenders. I offer my promoter friend if you want a chicken tender, some fries. To thank him for like inviting me out or whatever. We're cool. Like we're actually like solid. He just takes some of the fries. His friend was like big hungry. He come over there to take some fries. Like, oh, can I get some fries? I'm like, yeah, you can get some fries with your hungry ass. Um, I'm like, I don't really know him. Like, he's cool. I know, like, my friend who's a promoter better. And it's kind of weird because, like, people will think that just because y'all have mutual friends that y'all automatically cool. I'm not like that. I feel like if we know the same people, I still don't know you. I still got to get to know you. So he's cool. I don't, distance, boundaries. Um, But anyway, it was real cool. I ate the food, and then one of the girls that I was like cool with, when I first got there, who was there by herself, she said her friends had a table at the other end of the bowling alley. So I go over there with her. I'm like, yeah, we chilling, we cool. They pour us a shot. Okay, cool. We vibing. 2 songs later, I'm like, okay, girl, I'm gonna go back to the other table and bowl. And she was like, okay, I'm gonna come with you. So it was just chill over there. I guess we were just vibing, just checking out the scene. But as I'm like walking through the crowd, I'm like passing out my business cards to people because I do locks. I'm a loctician. I do braids. So I'm passing out my cards to all the dreadheads. Telling them, hey, check me out on Melrose. Just where I work at. Cool, cool, cool. We get back to the table, back to bowling. I'm mingling with this other homegirl. She was really nice. She's a bottle server at this club, the penthouse that I was just at, and she's an aerialist. So I was like, oh, that's so cool. So we started chit chatting about that, and as I'm chatting with her, a fight breaks out at the table next to us. Now, mind you, it was a rapper here, like a really big rapper. And I'm not gonna name drop. I'm not gonna name drop because I feel like a lot of people in LA name drop to make themselves relevant. Because whatever they're saying sounds so much more interesting if they can attach it to like a celebrity or somebody that somebody else like already knows. Right? Okay, cool. So I'm not gonna name drop, but it was this really big rapper, probably one of your favorite rappers, was at the table next to us. I didn't know he was at the table next to us. I knew he was in the building because the DJ kept saying, "Okay, such and such, thank you, such and such." I'm like, okay, so he must be like in here somewhere. Maybe I wasn't paying close attention because I did not see him up in there. Um, but yeah, this really big rapper was like at the table next to us. And this fight broke out between like these girls, right? Security was jumping on them quickly, separating them, breaking it up. And I'm like, oh wow, security know how to do their job, but the servers don't know how to do their job because where was y'all at when I wanted to get some chicken tenders? Maybe I should have fought somebody and y'all would have came over to take my order. Like, girl, why'd you fight me? Because I want some chicken tenders. And we're like, okay, girl, we'll take your order. We go get you some chicken tenders. So next time I know if I'm at Kingpin, I need to fight to get some chicken tenders to get the attention of a server or anybody, but that matter. That works for the staff. But the fight breaks out. I don't think anybody was recording it. Everybody was just so taken aback, like, oh my God, why are they fighting? So as this is happening, I don't know what's going on. I don't know who's who. I didn't know that rapper was at that table. I didn't know what was going on. I would look like this. I had my glasses on. I took them off like this. And I was stuck like this for like 2 minutes trying to figure out like what was going on. So then my promoter friend leaves like maybe 5 minutes after that, drops me off at home, and then boom. So once we leave, I find out the tea. So apparently this big rapper, I'm not gonna say his name, was at the table. And I'm not gonna say his name also because like I realized most of what I know about certain celebrities is from what I've read online. I don't know these people personally. So if I'm name dropping and I'm telling you a story, it's just gonna feed into like whatever narrative you've heard about them, and it's confirmation bias. And I don't know these people for real. I don't know the situation, so I'm not gonna name drop. Because what I'm about to say might happen in your city. Under different circumstances. So we walk out. Apparently, this rapper was there with like multiple women that he's messing around with, right? And the girls, like, I guess knew about each other or had some beef and found out they was, messing around with the same dude or whatever, and just started fighting. And like security had to break them up. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, he been falling off ever since, him and him don't, they're not in a relationship no more. And my homie was like, oh, you not a guy, so you don't understand. So he was basically saying that like, for a man, if you have women fighting over you, that means that you that dude. Like, that's a good thing. That's the dumbest thing in the world to me. I do not understand that. I'm just a girl. But he was telling me like, nah, like that's a good thing. Like he's a dude, that mean that he on his shit or whatever. Cause he got girls fighting over him. It's almost like people in the industry is like they feed off toxicity. And it's just like I get it. We all come to LA, we all come to like Hollywood to pursue our dreams. We all come here with our own baggage. We all come here with stuff that we gotta work on. We all need therapists, but we just do the best with what we got to make our dreams come true. And some people, when they make their dreams come true, they don't work on the inside, they don't get to the root of things. Some people do, they don't be successful, or some people are on their way to be successful, but they still working on their stuff. Like we all got stuff that we need to work on. So it's like, who am I to judge? That's why I don't want to name drop, because I'm just like, I don't want to put that out there. But like, it was a big rapper. It was a big rapper, probably your favorite rapper. Um, but yeah, that was crazy to me. So I never thought about it like that. I never thought about like girls fighting over a guy, making a guy look good. I just thought everybody just looked so crazy. Because first of all, why is he messing around with somebody else? Why is that acceptable? Why is that okay? Why are people okay with it? It's like girls get involved in a situation like that and they know that the guy is messing around with other girls, but they all want to think that they're the main girl, even though they know that they're not. So when they come across another girl who they know or assume is like the other girl, they want to fight the girl instead of breaking things off with a guy or checking the guy. And it's just this cycle that keeps like going on and on. So I guess that's game. I guess that's a part of the game. I want no parts of that. I want no parts of that. If I'm with a guy and a girl comes up to him and grabs his meat or like slaps him, I want to know why he didn't shoo her hand away. I want to know why she's coming over there, because like girls don't just do that out the blue. Like women don't operate like that. There's always a reason. So I ain't trying to deal with that. So maybe being somebody in the industry is not for me. I'm just gonna continue to pursue stand-up comedy, keep it at that. But I'm new to the whole like party scene in LA. So I'm basically starting from the bottom and getting out the mud because nobody knows me. Like I've opened up for comedy shows for Chris Spencer, Bubba Dub. Um, I performed at the Comedy Store as a headliner for Crack 'em Up Thursdays. Like, in the social sphere here in LA, don't nobody give a fuck about that because nobody knows me, because I don't be outside like that. So I'm starting to put myself out there and be like outside like that more so I can like get to know more people, build more rapport. Because it's not what you know, it's who you know. You could be the most talented, skillful person, but if the right people don't know that you're talented and skillful, it's basically like you're not talented and skillful at all. Um, so yeah, that was my experience at Kingpin Mondays. It was really cool. I had a good time. I really like bowling. I love that other people are just as like competitive as me. I like that the drinks are free. Um, Everything just seems to be like really cool there. So yeah, that rapper was there that night. I don't want to say his name. I don't want to say his name. He's a really big rapper, and it's like I don't want to feed into the gossip, but he's like really, really big. Um, and yeah, it's just I don't know. Like I had fun. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. I was just chilling. I met some cool other like girls there. I got to pass out my business cards. And yeah, I'm just peeping out the scene and like checking it out here in LA. I always get complimented on my outfits every time I'm out. These are the shoes. These are shoes I wore tonight. They're gold, kind of turning silver a little bit, but I think that makes them look cooler. Um, this is my outfit for the night. It's a two-piece. This is a bodysuit and this is just a mini skirt. This is my outfit that I wore. Cute, cute. And then I had a bunch of shades on. Killing them. I wasn't too sure about the earrings. I thought the earrings looked kind of goofy. But as I looked at them some more, I'm like, oh, they're really like eclectic. They're really cool. Like I like a little extra, something extra. This is a teddy bear necklace. Thought it was kind of cute. And yeah, Frenchies on the hands. Gold on the glasses. So I thought this was cute. And yeah, it's my outfit. So I had a good time tonight. Afterwards, I just went home. I know some people were going to like an afters, but my homie who was the promoter, he was like, oh, I'm just going home. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go home too. We're not gonna pop out no more for the night. And I just feel like if you're gonna go out, going to one afters is cool, but if you're going to two different afters, it's like what you got to prove. Because if you're going to a second afters, it's probably after 4 a.m. in the morning. You don't want to go to sleep? Like, are you okay? Why are you going to two afters? I'm judging. Because it's like by the time you get out the second afters, the sun gonna already be up. Now you just gotta start your whole day, with no sleep. But yeah, I had a good time tonight, and Kingpin Mondays was cool. The fight threw me off because it just threw out the whole vibe of the whole like night. Because it's like, why is the girls fight? But they was fighting over this rapper because they both messing around with him. I guess. Um, I don't know. It just seems like if you mess with somebody in the industry, like you have to automatically assume that they're messing with like other people and be okay with it. And it's just like nobody's holding the men accountable. Nobody's holding the women accountable. It's just treacherous. It's treacherous out here. Um, Maybe that's why love is hard to find. So yeah, thank you guys for listening to my story. Had a good night. If you're ever in LA, check out Kingpin Mondays. It's definitely a vibe, and you never know who you're gonna run into. Boop. Oh, it's still live. How do I end this? Actually.